After 3.5 years and 80,000 kilometres, it's time to say goodbye to our beautiful home on wheels. What started as a project during the pandemic lockdown and a way for us to travel locally while overseas travel was restricted became so much more. Over the last 3.5 years, we visited every state and territory in Australia and had some amazing adventures. This van has taken us to iconic places, off the beaten path places, hidden gems and places we didn't even know existed. This really has been a life-changing adventure. But for the last 12 months, Nigel has been flying to the other side of the world for work every 6 weeks. So now our big lap of Australia is done, it's time to sell the van and move closer to Nigel's work, at least until he retires in a few years. In this video, we get the van ready for sale, but as you'll see, nothing goes smoothly. Stick around for a hint about what's next, and yes, we will be continuing with our weekly van life videos. So here we are, back at the man cave. We've got a very busy couple of days ahead of us. The first thing that we've got to do is take all of our personal belongings out of the van. Then we're going to clean it. So we're definitely getting done with emptying the van. We've emptied out a lot of these cupboards, and you'll notice the stove place is empty. So sadly for us, but happily for the new owner, it turns out our stove is stuffed. We've just had our gas fitter mate Pete come around because one of the burners, this one here, wasn't working. We brought him around to fix that, and as he was fixing it, he discovered that there's a whole bunch of problems with the stove, most attributed to the dodgy gas fitter that fixed it in Darwin. We knew that guy was dodgy. So yeah, the lucky buyer of our van is going to be getting a brand new stove. It's also a little bit of good news for me because it means I don't have to clean the oven and I don't have to clean the stove top. So my job today, I'm just going to be continuing to strip all of our personal belongings out of the van and doing a whole big clean in here. Just putting the awning out, getting the van in position for a bit more work. Nigel is about to drop the fuel tank. And young Nick's over here helping us. What are you doing there, Nick?
Grinding the rust.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, let's talk about the jobs associated with the main fuel tank. Now, the jobs were going to involve dropping the main fuel tank, which is a major job in itself, but certainly a necessary thing to do.
But first things first, we had to get the grey water tank out. Go and look a bit closer at that grey water tank that just came down. Look how dirty it is.
There's a bit of oodle-dada dust on there.
Yeah.
It'd be game enough to look in here.
Hold your nose, folks.
Yeah, not too bad.
Looks pretty slimy on the bottom there.
Yeah, it's a bit whiffy. Put the baking soda,
soda and vinegar in that, yeah.
Give it a good slosh up and let it sit there. And
yeah, let it sit for a while.
That'll be nice once that's all done.
Yep.
It'll be easy to get the fuel tank out now.
Yep. So, Jack is going on tank.
Take the weight off. Just pump that up a little bit.
Technical stuff they're doing here.
Just to make sure nothing's...
Out comes the fuel tank.
You see, we were experiencing a slight fuel leak in the main tank, as evidenced by the side of this grimy mess on top here. And so we just had to figure out where and why. So with the main fuel pump assembly removed from the tank, I could tell that the O-ring, the large O-ring, had a ever so slight kink in it, which was causing the fuel to leak out with the toing and froing, the swaying of the van, just slopping out. With that O-ring replaced, the cost of $80, I was always going to be confident that would fix that problem.
Okay, so we've done a fairly good clean throughout the van, but you know, it really just needs a little bit of a freshen up, particularly some nice fresh paint. And I mean, look at the inside of this cupboard. That seriously needs painting. So my first job before I can paint is to apply this blue tape around the edges. I actually quite enjoy painting. I find it kind of meditative and you quickly see such a really good result. I think there's as much paint on me as there is on the walls and everywhere where the paint is meant to be, but it's looking a lot fresher. Alrighty, so today we are taking out the bed so we can paint these walls because they're a little bit dirty. This is how simple it is to take our bed in and out. We kind of designed it that way. And then these brackets all just pop out quite easily too. Just take out the 4 of them and then the bed's out. So Nigel's just putting the finishing touches on the bed base. We have done all around the bedroom. It's all freshly painted. Look at that, looking beautiful. End of an era, the explore sign is coming down. So now I've been cleaning up this area, trying to get all this glue off with sandpaper and isopropyl to get it ready to paint. This is one of the last sections that has to be painted.
My last little painting job.
Okay, I know I said I enjoyed it before, but I was really glad when it was all done. That's it, painting is all complete. All done. Now, you'll remember earlier I showed you the broken stove. We got a new one sent out, and here's what that looked like when we took it out of the box.
What do you say?
Oh, don't ask me what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's buckled. It's been strapped down too hard, and it's wrecked.
We then had to wait 2 weeks to get this stove replaced with the second one. I mean, it was just ridiculous. It was so much backwards and forwards, not with the seller, but with Thetford, who manufacture the stove. We had to go through their repairs department, and apparently the person was only contactable on email and wasn't responding to emails. So eventually I was calling the seller every day, where is our stove? Where is our stove? We were actually worried that we were going to have a buyer for the van before we had a stove.
See, I've just put a little cuts in the tape just to make it easier to go around, and I'm going to paint the tyre with the grey undercoat and the black for that matter. So first thing to do is to put an inside layer, and then I'm going to follow that with newspaper. So what I've done, when Nikki's grinded it down, and then we had a break of a week, so then we just done a little bit of a quick run over, a bit of wet and dry sandpaper, blown it out with the compressor, get all the dust out. I've gone over that with a wax and degreaser to get all the dirt and grease off, and then I've put a rust converter paint over some of the rusty bits. Then you wipe that off with a damp rag, let that dry, and then the next step will be the undercoat. Okay, all taped up, now ready for the edge primer. Alrighty, so undercoat is being completed.
There were so many little jobs that we had to do, like replacing this gas vent, which had become broken, probably from us kicking it when we were coming up the step.
Yeah, new one of those before. Trip into powder check. Cindy and the guys have done a great job on this bash plate. Gosh, I wish they did it before and after, and it looks brand new. Oh, watch the head. All right, now it's time to get this bash plate back into position. This now looks absolutely brand spanking new. When you're trying to get work done on the van, and you've got this ruddy, look at this rain, you've got this awesome flipping Queensland tropical weather to deal with. Bloody hell, thank goodness for the 3-hour awning, which is at least keeping me dry while I'm trying to get this One Direction trap installed. Because we need to, such heavy duty pipes, you've got to soften them up to get them on the fittings.
Nigel's next job was to go up on the roof and raise the solar panels.
It allows you to get underneath and get rid of the leaf litter and give it a bit of a clean. You know, check the cables if need be. But yeah, you can see how you obviously want to get rid of all this build up. Oh god, look at them. Yeah, anyway, it allows you to do that, which is quite handy. Okay, so I've got a bucket of soapy water up on top. Panels raised up, so we get in there and give them a good clean underneath.
The van is looking so schmicko. Look at the wheels. And it's pretty much all ready to go. Friends, we are getting the windscreen replaced on the van, which is something that we have to do for roadworthy, but we do have 2 pretty significant stone chips in there, so it wouldn't pass the roadworthy with those. You can see one of them right there. And the other one is a bit more in, well, my line of vision. You've probably seen it in some of our videos, being most annoying. So we're here at O'Brien Auto Glass here in Caboolture. So these guys are going to take care of the van today. Oh my gosh, guys, you can't even see this glass. It's so beautiful and pristine. You wouldn't even know it's there. Thank you so much, O'Brien Glass. So we've just been to On and Off Road Mechanical. Got the, oh, can you see it there? Safety certificate, otherwise known as a roadworthy. We're all set. This is the last time Nigel will be driving the van. It's very sad. I might even cry. Nigel might even cry.
Well, you have been going before.
Here we are, Brisbane International, departures.
8 o'clock at night.
Yeah. So Nigel's about to head off for another 6 weeks in Saudi. Say farewell to the van.
Last time.
And the next time I see you, we'll be on another continent.
Yeah.
Crazy. Are you going to get pinged because it's over 7 kg?
Yeah, you might. What a crazy few weeks. Oh man, so full on. But yeah, I think I need to go to work for a break. We could not let the boss hear that. That's it.
See you in another continent.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
So here I am in an almost empty van. All our belongings are out. It's all cleaned. We've got a brand new stove here. Finally, that was gosh, that was a nightmare actually, waiting for that stove to come, but it eventually got here and we've had Pete install it. Now all we're waiting for is our buyer and their money. I'm kind of laughing, but I'm not really laughing right now. So this has been one of those sagas, like, I don't know, like you couldn't make this up. It's been that ridiculous. So about 2 weeks ago, a lovely potential buyer came to look at the van, made an offer, which we accepted. Lovely couple, about our age, planning to go off and have some adventures. So we were super excited. We wanted the van to go to like-minded people, and we really feel that this couple are the right sort of people to have the van. And then the trouble started. So the buyer had to get finance, which, okay, we get that. You know, not everybody has a spare large enough sum of money to buy a van lying around. Of course, Nigel's gone back over to Saudi. So the first problem occurred when he had to fill out some sort of this app, and it had to do a facial recognition, but it flagged because the IP address was obviously not in Australia. So it's all to do with this fraud and money laundering and blah-de-blah-de-blah. So their first finance application got rejected. But anyway, it's just dragged on, and every day there's a new hoop that we have to jump through. Today is Wednesday. We thought the money was supposed to be in on Friday, but we're still waiting. The buyer has just tried to transfer us some money, and the bank is saying that our account is invalid, which it's not. We've triple checked and quadruple checked and 18 times checked all the numbers and everything's fine. But oh my God, this is just really testing my patience. Anyway, so that's where we're at right now. Wednesday, and I've got a flight booked for Monday, and I'm still clearly in the van.
The next day.
The van is sold, and the new buyers are picking it up tomorrow. So tonight is my last night ever to sleep in this bed. Oh, wow. I'm feeling all the emotions. Good morning, friends. What a bittersweet morning it is today. I've just woken up in the van for the very last time. It's really sad, but I was just reflecting this morning and thinking about how really sad I would be if I didn't have something super exciting to look forward to. So I really feel for those people that do a big lap and then come home and go back to, you know, whatever life they were living beforehand. You know, they go back to living in a house and getting a job, and yeah, that would be sad. So this is sad, but it's super exciting because of what's coming next. But today is handover day, and before that, I obviously have to take all this bedding off the bed and do a final clean of the van, including a big clean of the bathroom, because I've still been using that, obviously. Well, friends, the time has come. Just waiting for the buyers to arrive. They've paid their money. The van is going to be driving off very shortly. Not really sure how I'm feeling about this right now. Okay, I'm actually feeling sick now. I just want them to get here and just go. Otherwise, I almost feel like I'm not going to be able to do this. Oh, this is awful. So just like that, we are vanless, and I am no longer in Australia. It's been about 3 weeks since we filmed that last section of video, and a lot has happened in that time. All will be revealed over the next couple of weeks here on YouTube, but if you really want to keep up to date with what's going on in our world, then head on over to our Patreon page, where we provide regular updates in real time and also early release of our weekly videos, all for the price of, well, less than a cup of coffee per month. Either way, we look forward to bringing you more van life adventures, which means we're going to need a new van.